Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
I'm Katie.
The definition of a hero is someone who is concerned about other people's well-being and will go out of his or her way to help them, even if there is no chance of a reward. That person who helps others simply because it should or must be done, and because it is the right thing to do, is indeed, without a doubt, a real superhero. Stanley.
Absolutely.
Good fact.
Good fact. And I'm Cameron.
That is true. Why don't you keep going, Cameron?
You should go to Twitter and use the hashtag Geeks Corner to talk at us. We're going to be talking about a lot of fun stuff tonight, including Stanley. You can talk at us and we might talk back.
That is very true. Let's start right off with Stan Lee.
Yes.
I would say the geek world, but really it was the entire world.
It was
Way
the
beyond
entire
that,
world.
yeah.
Yes. Anybody who's ever seen a Marvel movie, seen an action figure, comic book, cartoon, TV show, it's pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Multiple theme parks. May not know specifically who Stan Lee is, but they probably know who he is.
Yeah.
And he left the world yesterday. Yesterday?
Yes.
Yes, at the age of 95, which is absolutely amazing. And it's weird because as you watched the trickle, well, turn into a flood of social media posts going off, it went from shock to really more thoughts about who he was and what his legacy was, and even looking at the coverage on different websites over the last 30 hours probably, you saw the same things happen of shock to legacy and the change to that. So we're gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna let Cameron kick off because you're wearing a Captain America shirt to go with my Captain America tie.
That's
And,
exactly why I wore it.
I know.
Marvel.
It says Captain America on it.
It's true.
So, lead off your thoughts on Stan Lee.
Whenever somebody passes, without fail, there's always the dregs of whatever thing they've done in their entire life dragged up, good and bad. I've yet to see anything bad said about Stan Lee. Now, mind you, the man did not have necessarily the greatest business acumen over the course of his career. He certainly wasn't the best artist. He surrounded himself with some amazing ones to help with that, but he was an amazing storyteller, and he was always good at making other people look good, which is one of the highest praises you can give to anybody. He always acknowledged and supported those that helped him get to where he was. Oftentimes in his career, when he was manipulated in ways that were not appropriate, he always rose above with positivity, and the dude worked until his passing. He went to every single convention he was invited to, it seems like, big and small, especially the small ones, which is ridiculous that he wouldn't even go. And if something, say his age or his health prevented him from going, he always made an extremely apologetic video. And even at these events, you hear about people. I was reading one about somebody having stress-induced anxiety because of the crowds, and Stan Lee stopping everything to go check on them. He's just that kind of guy. So much more than just a good storyteller, he was just a good guy, and I think that's what's resonating.
When you look at the last D23 Expo and how active he was throughout the course of those 3-4 days,
Yeah.
and doing the little cavalcade, getting Disney Legend, then showing up during the was it the movies panel where he showed up with Iron Man, and they had their little moment that they did, which was ridiculously hilarious and corny, but it was like he was all in, and it was great. Go ahead.
I think, bouncing off what Cameron said, the most important thing was that he was just a good person who pushed for other people to be the best they could possibly be. He was fighting against injustice from the moment he started his comics, and the moment he started telling stories. He was always pushing for the positivity in the world, for the good in the world. He always wanted to see the good prevail. And I was watching an interview where he was talking about superheroes and how they still had to be real people. Like, even if they're aliens or whatever, it still has to be something you would see in people. So he tried to model those good traits into his superheroes so that they were like good role models. And I also like his soapbox that he would put in the comics, where he wanted it to be more than just a comic. He wanted it to be a lesson for the readers. He wanted to connect. Like, he cared so much about his fan base and what he was, like, the mark he was leaving on the world, and I think that shows.
So, favorite Stan Lee character?
I don't know.
I think mine is a bit more holistic. My favorite characters are the X-Men, which is kind of weird to say considering that Marvel doesn't necessarily have them in-house right now. Going off of...
Give him a few more weeks.
Yeah. Going off the intentionality of his creations, it seems like every one of his works had a purpose. I mean, Black Panther was to show relevancy. Peter Parker was to show broken homes surviving in an urban environment. The X-Men specifically had a lot of parallels, but it was in support of like the LGBT movement and the differentiation of people. And there was a lot of the immigration policy was a huge influence on it. So the narrative that he spoke over that wasn't just really cool superpowers that sold, and he certainly was aware of what sold. The purpose.
Captain America. It's just the traditional good guy fighting for what's right, and fighting against injustice. And I think that if you look at a lot of traditional Captain America comics and you look at even what the movies Captain America's turned into, that's what Captain America has been the person who stands up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. And I think that that's
an idealized America.
Yeah.
Not just an American, but
yeah.
I'm really disappointed you didn't say Spider-Man.
That was his favorite.
I don't know. I just, the more I've thought about it, I think Spider-Man probably stands out a little bit for me. Next question. Favorite cameo. He became very well known for his cameos.
We actually just watched a ton of them right
Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't even know I was going to ask this, but I did.
Ooh. He makes a cameo in Princess Diaries, thereby adding it to the Marvel canon.
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
No, my favorite is the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Watcher cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
That tied with Civil War, because I just love Tony Stank.
Tony Stank.
I think Civil War, I was kind of wrestling over that one. I'm like, no, that one's really good. I also like the Winter Soldier one where he's like, I am so fired.
Yeah.
That one was
just, impossibly old security guard, just like, oh man, I'm worried about my job.
I just love First Avenger where he's like, I thought he'd be taller.
He had a lot of good ones.
He did.
So if you were to say in one sentence, what was the legacy of Stan Lee?
I mean, I shared it earlier, so I might repeat this for people that know me, but leaning into the light even if you're surrounded by darkness. I think that is, in one word, a summation.
I guess innovator. He described comic books in comparison for those who saying that it was rotting kids' brains for reading them. He described them as it's wonderful to read Shakespeare's plays, but wouldn't you rather see him? He had that philosophy when approaching comic books. So for pushing forward a medium that was not respected as being a story-driven narrative, but just like bubblegum stuff, for innovation, I would say that would be his legacy. For allowing something endearing and childlike to also represent much more.
And I'm going to say the hero of humanity. He really grabbed hold of the human essence of every character, good and bad, and showed how they could rise above it to become whatever hero he decided to create them into. All right. Any other thoughts, final thoughts on Stan Lee?
He will be missed. It's not, I mean, the dude was 95 and lived a wonderful life, so it's not, and there's shock in the sense that it's difficult for us to lose anything we love like that, but it's a wonderfully positive thing to know that he had such an impact and to have had such a long life in association with it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's turn to a different form of, let's actually look on Twitter real quick. Does anyone know what the city the hockey team Captain America's call home? The reason I care more about the Marvel world than the DC world currently is that Marvel characters feel like they have more three-dimensional flaws, which is something that Stan Lee definitely brought to Marvel. Bailey's going to go with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cameo, which was hilarious.
Good.
And Mike says Stan Lee with the Watchers is his favorite cameo as well.
Stan Lee's actually on the record dunking on DC, which is great.
Yeah.
He actually had a lot of respect for the others. He wrote for DC a couple of times, actually. But his big thing when talking about it is like they have Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and maybe The Flash. Like that was when he's talking about the new movies. He's like, okay, great. You guys are almost done with your catalog. I got a few more.
There's actually a really good YouTube video. I think it's that one you're talking about. But speaking of entertainment, there's another form of entertainment, I guess you could say, on the way from the Walt Disney Company, and the Disney streaming service we now know will be called Disney Plus.
Are they having an episode of Stretch Arts on for that segue? Or
Disney Plus sign right there.
Disney Plus sign. How do we pronounce it?
It's actually like
plus?
a crooked.
It is, because it's like...
Yeah.
Is it pronounced Disney and?
No, Disney Plus.
Okay, Disney
At least
Plus.
that's what I'm hearing. So I think it's Disney Plus. And
Disney.
Bob Iger announced it on an earnings audio cast webinar thing last week.
Business.
It was on an audio internet stream that was also a call.
Do you think it was intended to be released that, or?
Yeah, it was an earnings call.
Okay.
Yeah, it was part of his thing. And they also confirmed the Loki Marvel show or TV show during that. And then they also said there's going to be a second Star Wars TV show.
Not The Mandalorian.
Right. This one is about Cassian Andor.
Yes.
Which leads me to hope that there's also going to be a certain robot in this as well, because I just could always see more of him.
Yeah.
And
they cast the guy from Game of Thrones for the young Cassian, right?
no, it's the same guy.
Is it the same guy
Yeah.
as playing him? Okay, so you reprised the role. Cool.
But it'll take place before Rogue One.
That was The Mandalorian. They cast the actor from.
I don't
Game
think
of
that's
Thrones.
official yet. That's
Is it not? Oh,
it's a
okay.
rumor, I think. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've missed that. You never know. But what do you think of the name? First, Disney Plus.
I think it's simple and it
Trendy
makes
and
sense.
on point. Yeah.
I will say it's been one of the most commented on things we've posted in recent days.
I'm glad they didn't go like Disflix or something like that. That they didn't choose the obvious
Yeah.
way to go with the naming. Yeah.
Do you get it? Like, what's it mean?
It's Disney plus Marvel and Star Wars and
Okay.
assuming Fox and
It's extra Disney.
You could have called it that too.
no, because
No, yeah.
people are like Disney is
Yeet.
so extra.
I think it'd have been funny. Saturday Night Live would have been fantastic. Okay.
People watch that.
I don't know.
They only watch it when they do bad things.
It's true.
It shows up online once in a while. Yeah. I'm not going to look at Twitter.
Go, Twitter. Do more things to make him not
Do
look
more
at it.
things. Do more things.
So, name you're okay with. Will you be purchasing it?
I already know. If they had like a pre-order function, I would already do that. Like I know.
For the documentary things they've announced alone.
Yeah, the Imagineering
I'm
one.
getting it for it. Like that's interesting enough for me.
What other standalone TV show would you like to see them make that hasn't been announced yet?
Just from the revenue.
Can we bring back Agent Carter?
Agent Carter would make a lot of sense. That'd be a good platform for that.
I could actually,
But maybe kick it forward like 5 or 10 years.
We can ignore that we canceled. Just
Yeah.
cool. Here we are now.
Move the
We're
story
now
forward.
Starting Shield.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I don't
think it'd
see
be cool.
them. I don't say I'm liking this, but I see them rebooting a ton of the Disney Channel stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Like-
they've already said High School Musical, right?
Well, yeah, but like
And-
I'm talking like the DCOM movies and like doing a Luck of the Irish series or a Brink series or.
Is there going to be a new Miley Cyrus
What's up?
TV show?
You hating on Luck of the Irish?
No.
Hannah
no.
Montana. Are they going to remake Hannah
No,
Montana?
they're not doing that.
But
Stop
it's the
that.
best of both
I'm
worlds.
sorry. You get the limo out front. Ooh.
Hey,
no.
that was good.
You said things that were deep back here, like Luck of the Irish and 13th Year and Brink, and I was like,
Saints preserve us, so I do believe I'm getting sharter. Yeah, wonderful movies. Go back and watch them.
Under
Yeah.
wraps.
13 Year about Merman.
Under
oh my
Wraps.
goodness. Under Wraps was so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Oh.
was Phantom at the Megaplex a
Oh, yeah,
DCOM?
it was.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was.
What was the one? Now this is what it's become. There was an alien who was a bubble who feared the wind. But
that was your nightmare. That was your recurring nightmare
and
between
then
8 and 13.
her adopted stepsister was a windsurfer, because of course she was, and she blended all of her food in a blender. Internet, tell me this is a real thing.
No.
No,
it's a real
Pixel
thing.
Perfect was the hologram star.
This stepsister from
Planet Weird, yes, that's what it is. That's what that film was, and I want to watch that again to see
I
how
love
terrible
Pixel
it was.
Perfect.
So here's my question.
Several.
This is a bad question.
I don't. That's not a good start.
Will they go back and fix the movies that didn't work the first time?
From the 90s?
Like
No.
John Carter.
Oh.
John
and-
Carter was a fun film. I will die on that hill.
You absolutely will. or everybody's favorite animated flick, Mars Needs Moms.
Oh boy.
Oh. Woof.
Woof,
just saying.
indeed.
I have to leave.
I'm just saying.
I wish I could leave. I'm kind of stuck.
They could go back and I don't know,
I'm just
either
gonna-
make fun of the original or try something new.
Are they pulling a Deadpool re-release here, or?
You never know. I don't know. Okay, so that's Disney Plus. We'll see
Yeah.
how it plays out. I'm sure.
They've already got our money for it. Like,
True.
I don't know anybody, and they say they're coming in a price point that's less than Netflix.
so I mean, I think
I'm
they're shooting
paying
for like,
$10 for Netflix.
well, 15 is the
It's
upper standard.
yeah, like $14.99
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
So I assume it's gonna be like a $14 thing. I would guess.
which
or
I'm
9.
okay with.
I almost wonder if it's gonna be $9.
If
Just
it was $9,
get everybody at the beginning and then raise your prices.
well, like Netflix did.
Like, here's the thing.
Annual passes.
The original content they're producing, yeah, it's going to be expensive, but there's not really a ton of it if you think about it. Most of it is just stuff they've got in the vault. It's not costing them anything.
Well, and they can really get a huge market share with this too, because they can take what they already have. They're going to pull all that stuff off Netflix.
Yeah.
They'll probably pull all Fox's stuff off Netflix. And suddenly Netflix, you see why they're ramping up all of these in-house productions right now that just,
Yep.
you know, they're better, but they're not there yet. Like Amazon, I think, has a much stronger in-house production arm than Netflix
Well,
currently.
if you ever want a really interesting read, look into the last 5 years and how much Netflix has invested in getting their own Oscar.
and they still haven't made a profit, right?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
continually lost money on the assumption that businesses like Disney are going to be pulling out and they're going to need their own sustainable content.
Yep.
So they have just been hemorrhaging money to make things like Stranger Things and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting because 15 years ago, this would not have been a business model. And
Yeah.
that now it's the only way they can survive.
It'll be interesting to see if they survive. There's dogs barking outside. It's great.
Yeah, my feet really hurt too.
I just flew in and boy, are my arms tired.
Yeah.
Type of comedy we're going for tonight.
Okay.
Tip your waitresses.
We will see what happens with Disney Plus. We'll continue on the story. Steven did bring up ESPN Plus, and they are not being completely creative. That's correct. But it works.
Hey, if an idea works.
I wonder if they're going to do sport.
Sport? Just
I think
one
it's
sport.
separate.
Pick
they-
your sport.
ESPN has its own streaming service,
Yes,
and
but
that's
are
already
they
live.
going to package them? Like, are they going to?
Oh, that's possible. Like a get 2 for
Yeah.
1.5 deal or whatever.
Kind of like bundling,
Yeah.
internet and phone.
All right. So Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
Heard of it?
We got a couple video spots this week. First one was a teaser. The second one was a reaction to that teaser.
Yes.
By other
What a
characters.
weird marketing world we live in, man.
I actually was
strange.
completely confused to get 2 days in a row of press releases
Yeah.
that were Toy Story 4. Like, I was like, oh, cool, this is good. And then this morning, I actually had that thought. I'm like, is this going to be an all-week thing? And I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Well, when I was
Possible.
when I was forwarded said press release, and all I saw was Toy Story 4 reaction trailer. I was like, wait, did they have someone react to it? And like
That was my
what
first
this
thought, too.
is?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, you never know.
yeah.
So Toy Story 4, let's talk about the first teaser first. They're all singing and dancing around in a
Well, they're not
circle.
singing. That'd be weird.
Well, they're yes.
We don't want to be weird, Cameron.
We don't do musicals at Pixar.
Jesse yodeling was so funny.
Say it again.
Jesse yodeling, like going
Yeah.
slightly cross-eyed. And, woo!
So what do you think overall of the first teaser?
I'm so interested in the direction they're going in. Like, and obviously they haven't made any allusions to what type of story this is going to be or what's happening, or I'm just like, what's going on?
Other than the posters.
Why is there a spork?
I disagree. I think they spelled out the entire story.
I think they did too.
In that trailer. Yeah, I am in love with the first trailer, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because it is different, but at the same time, it is very much the core. If you go back and watch the other Toy Story films, they're about place in the world films. That's the purpose of a Toy Story film. And they have found a way to continue that story in a very interesting way by adding a tertiary character that nobody's aware of yet.
It's a fish out of water.
Yeah, and it's...
Except there's like 3 fish.
It's not the way I would have predicted, but it's the best possible way of them continuing that through storyline. Because they can't do it with Buzz. They can't do it with Woody again.
Yeah.
They've already...
You have to bring new people in.
Yeah, you have to bring new people in. And to make such a ridiculously strong choice that adds to the in-world lore in such a way. What is a toy? What constitutes sentience for toys? These are all really, really big questions, but at the same time, it's perfectly in line with the other Toy Story films.
Here's the biggest question, though, from what we know about the film so far. Last scene, we know is going to be something incredibly moving.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because one of the actors was talking in an interview this week.
2 of them.
2 of them were talking?
2 of them have come out.
They both said that? Okay, so 2 of the lead actors came out and basically said they couldn't get through the scene because it was so moving to them and emotional. So I saw Toy Story 3.
I think we all saw Toy Story 3.
They didn't have that problem in Toy Story 3. How in the heck did they make it?
Oh, it's the end
I
of
thought
one or
they
more
skipped
characters.
9.
Like-
like the iPhone.
Like,
It's got to be the end of one or more
that
characters.
you have to wonder. And looking at the posters aren't that bright and cheery.
No, they're
Like,
not.
they're pretty
Dark.
and so I'm wondering who gets recycled.
That's gonna be so good. No, a toy gonna die. We're gonna find out how toys die. Yup.
Oh no! Remember that
Or ends
post that was
up
going
at-
viral about toys dying in
Yeah.
Toy Story? I don't like this
up.
anymore.
Or ends up at the
By the way, do
thrift
you know
store
how
or
hard
something.
it is to kill a toy? Let's talk about Toy
At
Story
the
1.
thrift store.
Sid's house, the
that a
macabre stuff
bad
he's doing with
ending?
the toys. Toys can't die. You know how hard it's going to be to kill a toy, friends?
Well, if you go up on the rocket and it really does explode, that would probably
But
do
we
it.
don't know.
Yeah.
And that would be a good connection to the first film.
Wouldn't it be great if Sid is the one that does it too? He's the only one that is aware. So here's my rant.
But he is aware.
Sid's not a bad guy, friends. He didn't know toys were sentient. All right. He is a very creative, underprivileged youth that was doing amazing things with limited resources.
But he was
Okay.
taking his sister's toys and breaking
So we'll keep
them.
moving
He's
on
an
with
older
that
brother.
second teaser.
Yes.
What do we think of that one?
I think Jordan Peele was involved in the direction and writing concept, and
Clearly.
he wanted to do something fun.
And do we think it's just going to be a standalone thing over there that they'll reference in the movie, or is it going to be that self-aware in the movie?
I think that it's a standalone thing that they will reference back to, but I don't think that they will make it a main, thing.
They are significant characters in the movie, it appears, just
Yes.
from the description that they gave. But it's going to be another fish out of another water thing, it sounds like.
Why do the toys look like they're going to kill me? That's my question, because they look kind of scary.
You're going to find out in the movie right before you start crying.
Okay. Well,
Moving right along. Holidays have arrived at the Disneyland Resort. Don't you love how we went from that to that?
Christmas!
There you go. Happy Christmas, Jenny.
Happy Christmas, Mom.
There is a ton of things to
Christmas,
do for the next 6 weeks at the Disneyland Resort, 7 weeks
Something like that.
during holiday time, and we've got lots of guides on DAPs to help you do them all, whether it's food, whether it's gifts, whether it's entertainment, whether you want to get candy canes at really, really early in the morning. All of those things are up there. Festival of Holiday stuff is up there. But my question for all of you is, one thing that you have to do during the holiday time at the Disneyland Resort, what is your one thing that you would not miss?
Sure. When you scale the Christmas tree, make sure to do it on the side with the castle so you get the best view before they kick you out of the park.
true.
Yeah, it's a pro tip.
They do have a new
True.
Christmas tree this year, but
yeah,
so
so-
anyway,
Easier to
seriously, which one?
Oh, mine is going to meet Santa Claus in the Grand Californian. I think it's a wonderfully beautiful location. I don't think enough people go over there, which means it's a lot quieter. It's very nice.
Well, not anymore.
Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't feel like I have any.
Oh, now I have a good one that you're probably going to hit because you've been filming it recently.
Which one, the parade or Viva?
Neither.
Fat Cat
There you
Swinger.
are.
That is my favorite. That is, in fact, if you go to their Instagram, which is Fat Cat Swinger,
With a
and
PH.
watch the video that they posted about an hour and a half ago, maybe it's 2 hours ago, and see if you can find Mr. Daps in the video. And we will have videos going up from last night eventually, and it was a lot of fun. Mainly, well, not mainly, but added frosting to the performance last night. The leader of the band, Marco, was the singer for the. It was amazing. He has more personality and heart than I just think about anybody, and
Also doing it again on Thursday.
he will be doing it again on
He's doing
Thursday.
these
So
well. Very cool.
he's got a few nights he's doing it this year, and it's very fun to watch. I mean, anytime they're very fun to watch, but that in particular was a lot of fun to watch. And also, hi to Marco's mom. Thank you for sharing our video. Yeah, I think that's a great one. I hadn't actually thought about what I was going to pick yet, but that would be.
I was just pushing it into your brain.
I'm like, yeah, that is what I would pick, because that's something we always end up kind of gravitating back to. And they're playing every night from now until the end of Festival of Holidays on, was it January 6th?
Yes.
Something like that.
And they're
Two
so
shows
good,
a day.
you guys. It is completely worth it. They are
They-
so good.
They are a blast. And stay tuned to DAPs Magic the next week and a half or so, because we will have more news about Fat Cat Swinger coming out probably before next Thursday.
That's a little teaser for you.
There's a little teaser. Why you should subscribe to our mailing list. All right, favorite thing.
I don't know. My eye is twitching. That's my favorite thing. I'm so sorry.
See it at California Adventure.
Disney California Adventure Park, please.
Disney's California Adventure.
No, wrong one. Wrong one. Even though they still say that in Florida. I don't know. I don't have a tradition. Like, that's eating.
Okay, go eat at Festival of Holidays.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, do you have a favorite booth?
No.
Okay,
Like, that's...
just go read the guide.
Yeah, because when I was writing the foodie guide for Festival of Holidays, I literally was like, oh, I would eat that. Oh, I would eat that. Well, I would eat that.
Aren't there like 3 checklists or something?
Yule
for
log.
it?
All
would
about the
eat
Yule
that.
log.
You
All right.
said that last
Final thing. Ralph Breaks the Internet has a preview at Tomorrowland.
It does.
We went and saw it on Sunday. Katie,
Tell me about it.
Katie. Yeah. Lead off, Katie.
So, we watched it. That's a thing. There were moments in the trailer where I laughed, but then like I felt bad about myself for laughing because it was like when like your grandma learns about memes and tries to like use a meme, but she uses it wrong. It's kind of what the whole trailer felt
My
like.
cross stitch is on point.
Yeah, that's
Oh man.
yeah, that was it. They were making like internet references from like 2010, like, you know, like traditional memes.
Well, and the director did do an interview.
The long and storied history.
He did do an interview where he said he knew the moment this was released, it would be irrelevant. Just
Yeah.
because the way
So they
it's-
picked
so
like
they just celebrated the moments throughout the years.
I'm
I
imagining
just-
people getting PhDs in memes from 2010 to 2012.
honestly
It might
Focus
happen at
years.
some
just give
point.
me that PhD.
So, what did you think of the movie after seeing the preview?
I am very interested to see how this is one cohesive story.
Mhm.
Like, I'm incredibly, I don't know, the entire time, because I'm an anxious person, we all know that. The entire time that they were in the internet, I was like, how are they gonna get back to the game? How are they stuck here? Like, that was my thought for 15 minutes straight, because I'm an obsessive person. But how are they gonna get back? Are they gonna be okay?
I thought it was interesting how they told the story, because they basically, this could have been a
Used the movie.
huge preview that was actually all spoilers, but they kept skipping stuff so you wouldn't actually know. I'm not overly worried about the game and how they get back or whatever, just because, but I wasn't invested enough in the characters, to be completely honest. There was no heartstring pull at the beginning. The princess thing was cute. I honestly think it's going to be one of those movies you go in and you enjoy, you have a good time, you walk away.
And then you forget about it. And then someone brings it up and you're like, oh,
that was an okay movie.
that movie.
Like,
My worry is the supposition of conflict, because it's been established that there needs to be like a conflicting direct agent, like King Candy in the first one. Or rather, the presence of King Candy without it being revealed that it was King Candy until it was Alan Tudyk. But
Classic Alan Tudyk.
it's just, haha, I'm someone else. That's I just did Alan Tudyk.
Wow. Did you go to Juilliard too?
6 years. There's no conflict that I've seen. I mean, the conflict is the mission, but that's not conflict.
No.
I think the conflict is between Ralph and Vanellope.
It is.
Yeah, but that's not... They're trying to pull another Frozen, and
Yep.
that doesn't work unless there's an Alan Tudyk in there. Literally, both Frozen and...
Well, Alan Tudyk is.
Does
in
anybody know if
Wreck-It
he's...
Ralph, too.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah, he's
you go.
knows it all.
Oh yeah, he's the
He's the search engine.
If Knows It All becomes the surprise villain in this thing...
Well, we do know they...
Oh, man.
We do know the search engines control the
Put
world,
it down
so...
now. If Knows It All becomes the surprise
I
villain
think
in this
that is
thing...
it.
I
We
will
might have just
walk out of this
I
theater.
just
can't wait.
I
imagine.
will walk.
I cannot
will
wait.
walk out of the
I
theater.
just imagine that they're having a conversation somewhere else entirely, and then he just shows up and was like, "Would you like to buy this thing based on this conversation you were having nowhere near me?"
Yeah.
That would make the
That
entire movie.
happens way too often.
Yeah, I know. It happened to me. I'm angry. I'm so sorry.
You want to know
Happened to me
how I
today.
know what happens?
That was loud.
I was talking about Picard's weird crystal thing that's on his desk, and it was advertised to me that day. That's about as obscure as it gets.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, well, we're running out of time for tonight. What do you think this movie's going to be? I'm going to say middle.
I'm
I just don't
kind of
know.
there too. Like,
All right.
you should go to thegeekscorner.com to hear all of our opinions about things and stuff. We have both.
You should go to dapsmagic.com to hear our opinions about things and stuff. And read them, because that's cool too. See all the Disney and geek news as it happens, subscribe to our mailing list, and find out how to become a Daps Magic maker.
And make sure you subscribe to this channel and find us on social media. Use the hashtag Geeks Corner. We'd love to continue the conversation with you throughout the week. We'd also love to see you in the parks, especially if we're watching Fat Cat Swinger.
And the
Shout
Sunday for
out
Mickey's
to
birthday.
Steven this week, who we've seen several times. It's been fun to see you in the park. And what was the last thing you
I
said?
said, and this Sunday for Mickey's birthday, because
And
we'll
this
be
Sunday,
there.
Mickey's birthday. Don't miss our coverage of that. We'll have everything for that as well.
And if
you
you're there,
won't want to
come
miss
see
it.
us.
And if you're there, come see us as well. But that's all the time we have for you this week. So we will see you around the corner.